Why do you watch the NBA? Is it for the high-flying athletic plays, the nail-biting games that end in buzzer beaters, or is it rivalries that spawn decades upon decades? All have been an integral part in how the NBA has become one of the top leagues, not just for basketball, but in all professional sports. Now, these are all great reasons to watch the NBA, but you know what I watch it for? The short, balding, slightly in shape, middle-aged men that referee the game. Oh wait, I don't. Then why lately has it come to my attention that I'm hearing more and more of NBA referees ejecting players or giving stupid fouls and technicals that really just don't seem to make sense? Well, in today's video, I want to dive into this, seeing as some of these ejections are called for, why the referees continue to do this, and is this a good look for the NBA? So I know I've already slightly talked about NBA referees and the treatment on Nikola Jokic, click up here for that video, but I woke up this morning to see that Cade Cunningham, the number 1 pick in the 2021 NBA draft, got ejected for this.
That's because there's just so much movement and very little standing around. Oh!
But Cade with an answer. A reverse dunk. And they're calling a tech on Cade. And that means he's got to leave.
Just to spell it out for you, Cade made an amazing dunk on Jalen Smith, pointed at Jalen Smith, the victim, or his own bench depending on how you see it, and then received the second tech of the game, resulting in an ejection. Now, there's many things I could unpack here, but the one thing that has me scratching my head is why is taunting a technical foul in the NBA? Basketball is a very intensive game. You have 5 guys on either team trying to get a ball into a small hoop over a distance of 91 feet. Each player is having a paddle of their own, with their opposing opponent waiting to get the better of them to win the game. And in my opinion, taunting/intimidating is a part of that. The mental side is just important as the physical. Pointing a finger or staring at someone is barely even taunting in my opinion. Can you imagine watching a UFC match and having points deducted for staring the dude down? The NBA wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for taunting. Larry Bird would get kicked out of every game. Michael Jordan wouldn't be able to talk. Dennis Rodman probably would never even set foot in the NBA. Now yes, I believe taunting can go too far, and in some circumstances probably does deserve a technical, but why punish the dude for acting emotionally to something that's already happened in the game? So why did the NBA crack down on taunting, as it used to be such an important part of the game? And to be honest with you, I don't completely know, but I've got a few ideas. The first thing that comes to mind is to stop fights from breaking out. From what I could tell, the Malice at the Palace was an incident that forced the NBA's hand to crack down on taunting-like behaviour and viewing taunting as a way they can start fights. And I can agree with that to an extent. The Malice at the Palace left a massive stain on the NBA image that took some years to clean up. And yes, taunting can lead to that behaviour, but is staring or pointing at someone really that bad? Like playing a professional's non-contact sport, you shouldn't need to resort to violence if someone has taunted at you. You get back on the court and prove why you're meant to be there. Time wasting is something that the NBA may see as another reason why taunting is not suitable for the NBA. Taunting can result to players getting into a disagreement and arguing over what people say is just a kerfuffle. But the NBA is happy to let a total of 14 timeouts in a game, ad breaks during every one of these, including during the end of every quarter, and that's not even including if one of these kerfuffles breaks out. They'd love to spend as long as they can just to get a decision, just so they can fit more ad breaks into the mix. So basically what I see is they only care about time wasting if they can't fit an ad during that time. My final reason for them to crack down would be the image. The NBA doesn't want to seem to have a dirty or thuggish image, because that would be bad, right? Even though players' playstyles has evolved from playing the backyard and the streets, courts from every corner of the globe. And in my opinion, it just seems silly that you must change your style to fit the NBA image or you'll be thrown out every game. So overall, do you think these technical fouls are good or bad for the NBA and its image? I'd love to hear you guys' opinion, so please let me know down in the comments below. But here's what I think. Personally, I think it's bad. Now I can definitely see why some people think it's good for the NBA. Less likely for fights to break out, keeps the image clean, and makes the game seem more watchable for people who have never watched basketball before. But it takes a large chunk of what makes the NBA, any sport, hey, even most media, so good. And that's the emotion. What's a song without no emotion? A movie with no emotion? A book with no emotion? If studios, labels, publishers, etc. told their artists that their work can no longer have any emotion in it, they'd make much less sales. Reality TV, for how garbage it is so popular because it sparks emotion. So back to the NBA, we recently saw basketball with no fans, due to the bubble, which are a large part of the emotions that play out on the court, and it just wasn't the same. Imagine telling fans that they can't cheer when the team scores, that if they have a disagreement with an opponent's fans, they need to be kicked out. So why treat the players completely different and just treat them like a product? They are humans, and they react differently to different things. As long as their actions don't result in violence, I say allow the players to taunt. Let them celebrate, show emotion, because that's a big part of sport and what gets fans going. Now, I'm not seem to be bagging out referees here, and I just want to make sure that you know these guys are also just humans and can make mistakes, act emotionally, or just doing what they've been told, and I believe that any abuse towards refs should not be tolerated. However, it doesn't excuse them from being critiqued. This video isn't to bag referees, but bring attention that basketball is a game full of emotions and shouldn't be disciplined for showing them. You could get robots to shoot anywhere on the court and get it in. Hey, probably in the future you could get them to dunk from the 3-point line, but that novelty will wear off. What makes basketball, and other sports for the matter of the fact, so great is the emotion behind it, and giving technicals to players who show that emotion will make the next generation, and the next generations after that, more like robots who are only valued for their athletic ability and skills on the court. So that's all I have for you guys today. Like always, any support would be greatly appreciated, whether it be liking this video, subscribing to my channel, or even just leaving a comment down below and whether you think these technical fouls are fair for the players, or even if there's any alternatives that you think would be suitable for the NBA. Cheers, and have a good one.